Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. The important news and editorial that would be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 3rd of May. The first important news, that is China, Russia, Pakistan ministers to attend SCO meet, which is scheduled at Goa. Second, taxation and regulatory regime for the gaming industries. We'll see the detail about this. Third, center plan to find alternative to death by hanging. A recommendation and even the opinion was out by the Honorable Supreme Court through the central government that what are the other ways that we can go ahead. The second last, use of regional languages in High Court. And the last is an editorial outlawing India's tech tariff. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful for examination purposes, do press a like button. And we at Apti Plus is organizing free mock test for prelims 2023. So this is an opportunity that you can participate in our initiative called Prelims Mirror, where both paper, that is GS1 and GS2, would be conducted as par with the syllabus and the parameters of the UPSC. The date for the mock test is 14th of May. You can register yourself, and Apti Plus Eastern India Best IAS Institute is conducting this offline and online. So do not forget to miss this opportunity. Register yourself at the earliest to get the benefit out of it. So starting with the first news, that is China, Russia, Pakistan ministers to attend SCO meet, something important for General Studies paper 2, that is bilateral regional grouping and agreement involving India and affecting India's interest. Now we see the part of the meeting that is taking place in Goa. So the Foreign Minister of China, Russia will attend the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, that is SCO, Foreign Minister meeting in Goa in India. The visit are expected to lay the ground for China and Russia President, that is Vladimir Putin, to travel. Basically, they will be traveling to India in July, where the complete part of the SCO meeting is scheduled. Pakistan Foreign Minister is also expected to visit India. Now, what is the main intention behind this ministerial meeting, the foreign ministerial meeting? This will pave a way for the final SCO summit. So last week, Russia's foreign minister has announced that it will attend the SCO foreign minister meeting, which will prepare the way for SCO summit, which is scheduled for July 3, July 4 in 2023, that is this year. And this minister meeting will discuss the draft of the relevant documents और जो डिसीजन की ज़रूरत है SCO ग्रुपिंग को लेकर के, चाहे वो एक्सचेंज ऑफ आइडियाज हो, इवन फॉर द पार्ट ऑफ टॉपिकल इश्यूज that is with regards to international and regional agenda. Now, talking about the SCO, I've already discussed this several times about the member country. Just to give you a complete part, SCO consists of China, India, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Pakistan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. And at present, India is holding the presidency for the SCO this particular year. Even for G20 and for SCO, India is holding the chair, so you can expect a question in the prelims and mains examination. The 5 major approaches of SCO की अगर बात करें, first it called for building efforts in Asia, the confidence in building efforts in Asia. Second, called for collective responsibility approach. Third is expanding cooperations in communications and information sharing. Fourth is identifying the priority areas. And last but not the least is the use of newly developed technology in disaster resilience capacity building, which even India is focusing upon with a lot more initiative like the coalition for in resilience capacity building and other stuffs. Now, India के SCO जर्नी की अगर बात करें, That has been something which India has set up precedent. India has been associated with Shanghai Cooperation Organization since 2005 and play an important role as an observer country. Since beginning, India was not a member, right? So India's priority in this chair is to take forward with the secure theme, which Prime Minister has actually envisaged for. In the secure initiative, S stand for security, E for economic cooperations, C for connectivity, U for unity, R for respect for sovereignty and integrity, and E stand for environmental protection or environment protections. Now, SCO is probably the world, basically the largest regional organization in the world, right? Representing 40% of the global populations, 25% of the global GDP, and 22% of the world total land areas. Moving to the other news, that is taxations and regulatory regime for gaming industries. Something important for General Studies Paper 3, that is Indian economy and issues related to planning, mobilization, resource growth, and development. So the Finance Minister of India has said that center is deliberating on the part of appropriate taxations and regulatory regime for the gaming industries. There have been a lot of concern by the government of India when it comes to the part of taxations to the gaming industry, right? Whether it is an online gaming or other stuff, taxation is an important component. Presently, to some extent, some part is charged with 18% and another with 28%. 28% is a unanimous recommendations which was given by the group of ministers in the meeting. I'll tell you everything in a bit. Now, the ministry has added that the foreign investment into the sector would expect to materialize the part of the policy become clear. And India still does not have a coherent policy when it comes to gaming, and some states has drafted their own policies. गेमिंग इंडस्ट्रीज की बात करें इंडिया में, it is definitely India is the world largest mobile gaming market in terms of apps download. This is a point to be noted, right? And online gaming industries has grown exponentially during the pandemic, and the online gaming industry is currently contributing more than 2,200 crore as a GST as per the study which was done by Ernst and Young and Ashcom. And as per the KPMG report, online gaming industry can grow up to 29,000 crore rupees from earlier 13,600 crore rupees. Now, this is a graph that will give you a complete picture about the gaming market in India. This is by the trend segment. There are other trend which is there. So about CAGR for like these are the anticipations and the value that is expected to rise by 27%, right? So some basic data must be known to you. If you're writing in mains paper, you can draw a graph or you can just plot that this is what the expectation is from the gaming market. Now, taxes on online games ki agar baat kare, this is what I was talking about. Exactly, there was a meeting of a group of ministers, and even this was preceded by the GST Council, which will take the final call on the part of the decision, right? So the online gaming industries attract 18% of the taxes, and this is levied on the gross revenue, which fees charged on online gaming portals. The group of ministers, chaired by Meghalaya Chief Minister in December last year, has submitted its reports on the online gaming to Union Finance Minister. Now, moving to the other news, that is center plans to find alternative to death by hanging. Something important for General Studies Paper 2, that is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from its design and implementations. So recently, the Union government has made a submissions, and they have actually informed the Honorable Supreme Court that the center is considering appointing an expert committee to examine whether there can be a less painful way when it comes to executing the death penalty by neck. Actually, at present, there is a provision that the executions take place by hanging through neck, and until the individual is dead, the hanging continues. So in March, the Honorable Supreme Court has asked the government to provide a data which may have clue about the appropriate method executing the part of prisoners by death or hanging. Now there's a section 354 of the CRPC, that is Criminal Procedures Code mandate, that have this categorically specify the part of the death sentence and to be hanged by neck until death. Now, there's an alternate method which government is looking forward with. The Chief Justice of India, while hearing the suggestions, have asked the government to form a committee, and the experts should be there from the national law universities, professors of laws, doctor, and scientific persons. The court has indicated that it may have even verdict of alternative methods of executing capital punishments. It would have proved that more human methodology for execution would render by hanging them will be unconstitutional. Now, moving to the other news, use of regional languages in High Court. This is what the Union Law Minister has actually pitched for. Something important for General Studies Paper 2, that is the structure, organization, and functions of executive and judiciary. The Union Law Minister has asked to use of regional languages in the High Court. This is basically for every High Court. He has actually pitched for that each and every High Court in India should be using their regional language apart from English. And even the Prime Minister of India has suggested to give up the colonial way of English and use of their own language in the own court depending upon the states. So a specific language to the native language of the state should be used in the High Court. Now only 5 courts have started Hindi as a court languages. Now there's other provisions called e-filing and facility center. The Bombay High Court has decided to make e-filing compulsory for filing all the proceedings at the court, and all the e-filing units will be provided with the computer, scanner, and the printer. Now, one important point that you take a note of that is regard to the constitutional provisions. So, Article 348(1) subsection A states that basically, unless a parliament by law provide otherwise, proceedings before the Supreme Court in every High Court shall be conducted in English until unless it is authorized by the Supreme Court. Now, Article 348, Section 2 provide further notwithstanding that the provisions of Article 348(1), the governor of the state even may, with the previous consent of the president, can authorize the use of Hindi language for the purposes and proceeding of the High Courts. And the states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh have already authorized Hindi in the proceeding, and their respective High Court is actually using it. Tamil Nadu is also working in these directions to use Tamil language before their honorable High Courts. Now, moving to the editorial of the day, outlawing India's tech tariff, something important for General Studies Paper 2, that is bilateral regional grouping and agreement involving India and affecting India's interest. So what are the issues under this editorial? Before we jump to the issues, just focus upon the theme. The focus of the theme is tariff of informations and communications technology. The issues include the background part, objectives of WTO, information technology agreements kya hoti hain, appealing into and the void, and the part of conclusion. Now, if you see the part of the news, the context of the news, basically what has happened, एक online complaint लाई गई है by European Union, Japan and Taiwan. So these are the 3 countries that you should take a note of. These 3 countries have actually brought a dispute to WTO settlement panel, and they have found that India's tariff on certain information and communication technology products such as mobile phone are inconsistent with India's WTO obligations. Every country has an obligations when it comes to WTO rules and regulation. और अगर GATT की बात करें, that is General Agreement on Tariff and Trade, this was violated. उसकी जो Article 2 है उसकी violation की है इंडिया ने, ऐसा कहना है ये 3 member countries के. I'm not discussing the part of Article 2. Definitely that call for only to adhere and the part of the rules and regulation of the communication technology. ये articles काफी बड़ी हैं. If you want, you can refer to the WTO websites. Now, background की अगर बात करें, in April 2016, European Union, Japan, United States have written WTO seeking the justifications from India on increasing the basic custom on the cost of ICT products, which government of India has actually increased, right? And in 2017, the government has levied an import duty of 7.5%. Later, it has increased it to 15% on the ICT products. on the part of the domestic production, and this was challenged in WTO by European Union in 2019. Subsequent to that, European Union was the first country that has actually initiated this. This was followed by then Japan and Taiwan. They have also filed a complaint subsequently, and the duties were raised to 20% by government later. So that actually started with 7.5%, gradually moving to 15%, and finally ending this number to 20%. The reason being, all countries were not happy and say that these are not the provisions and rule adherence to the WTO GATT rules. Objective of WTO की अगर बात करें, the central objective of WTO is to boost transparency, predictability in the multi-trading order. WTO member countries are under legal obligations not to impose tariff in excess and other bound, and even basically maximum tariff commitment जो है वो goods और schedule के अंदर जो GATT के rules है उसके अंदर ही होनी चाहिए. The goods rules are based on the World Custom Organization's classification system, which catalogs the trade products, specific names and numbers. Now, this is also known as a harmonized system of nomenclature, also known as HSN. Now, there's an agreement upon which we are discussing this news, that is called IT agreement or information and technology agreement. It is a pluralistic or plurilateral agreement that was enforced by the WTO and concluded by 29 participants in the ministerial declarations of the IT, which was there at Singapore in 1996 and come into force in 1997. Right? So this is a background that you must know. And this seeks to accelerate and deepen the reductions, the part of the tariff barriers which is there in the critically important ICT industries. So this is more or less the part of the regulations and the promoting transparency to the ICT sectors. And India is signatory, this is an important for prelims, India is signatory to the Information Technology Agreement. Now, appealing into the void, this is what the main concern is by the European Union and other countries. So, World Trade Organization dispute settlement have recommended to reduce a tariff which was hiked by India, and even the compliance would mean the dismantling part of high productive tariff which India has actually erected to boost the domestic manufacturing of the part of the ICT products. And even if you see the rules and regulation which is mentioned at Article 17 of the WTO dispute settlement understanding, likely to appeal against the panel ruling. So let's see how the development goes. If something substantially coming out of it, we'll make more discussion on this. Now the appellate body here is the appeal that exists since 2019, and US has been blocking the appointment for the body members. Thus India appeal will go in void, right? So whether it will be there, because there's no full-time members that is operational with the part of the that is coming with the WTO or the panel which is actually working. Legally, India will not be required to comply with the panel ruling till the time appeal is heard. Now, to conclude this part of the discussion, the WTO does not have allow country to impose trade sanctions and even appeal in the pending, and retaliatory actions is there for the trade sanctions which is there, and only after the authorizations of the dispute settlement body, which is again not fully functional because the members are not there. So this will comprise all WTO members. We have to see whether it is fully functional or not. And the EU objective is to stick on the trade sanctions and push country like India to join MPIA, right? And this is something European Union will not impose the sanctions to India. This might use WTO ruling for the bargaining chip and free trade agreement negotiation with India. So we have to see whether there is other mechanism which is coming out of the negotiation or arbitration, because India is at stake, where India is in the chunk or in the category where India is the benefiting side, right? So we'll see whether any other mechanism coming out of it or there's any FTA that will call for a negotiation in this activities. Now, moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is B. For second question, the correct option is C. Today's MCQ for practice, gamma ray burst. आपको बताना है. These are the powerful astronomical cosmic bursts of high energy gamma rays. This emit energy in few than our sun emits in the lifetime. So do check out for the correct options. Second is the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. It's a specialized agencies of United Nations to assist economic industrial development. Its headquarters is based in UN in Washington in the United States of America. So you have to check for the correct option and mark the correct option, read out the statement carefully, and if you don't know, you can use the elimination method, sincere elimination method, to jump out to the correct answer. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis, followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.